good evening everyone. Today we'll be starting, I think one topic was left, area of the crossroads. Okay. So first let us understand what is this crossroad is actually. Now this crossroad you are going to get in the gardens that you are able to see in the city. Now within the garden you have some path which is given to for the people to move around and have a view of the beauty for the beauty of the garden. So let's see, we will take a typical shape of the ground, or you can say park. There is a typical shape, I'll take it as a rectangle. So you can take any shape, you can take a square also. But for broader perspective, we are going to take it as a rectangle. Okay. Now the garden is being made for you, and the length of the garden is, let's say, L, and the breadth is, let's say, B. Okay. So this is the length and the breadth. Now crossroad means the road which is made passing through the middle part of the garden. The one road will be vertically, or you can say parallel to the breadth of the garden, and the second road is parallel to the length of the garden. Alright. So you can very easily see that these two roads are crossing each other. These two roads are crossing each other. And now I'll let you know that what is the width of the road. Let's take the width of the road D throughout the path. Okay. Throughout the width is always D here. We'll be assuming that the width is always D. So my topic is here focus is on finding out the area of the crossroads. So we will find out the formula for area of the crossroad, and once you have understood how this has come, so you can directly use the formula when you are going to solve the questions. So now let us observe. If I take this vertical road as rectangle 1, okay. If I take this vertical road as rectangle 1, and this horizontal road as rectangle 2. This is rectangle 2, this is rectangle 1. So I just need to find out the area of this road only, because you have to find out the area of crossroad. Means these two roads are crossing each other at 90 degrees. That's it, crossroad. So area of rectangle 1, let's say first rectangle, area of rectangle 1. Now here you can see that this is the path which is of rectangular shape. So now what should be the length of this path? This path. So it should be, see here this length is running parallel to the breadth of the garden. So I'll assume that this, no, you don't have to assume, it is very clearly, if we are able to see that the length of this road will be equal to B. And the breadth of the road is always throughout, you can see it's D. So length into breadth. So this is the area of first road. Similarly, we can find out the area of road 2. Now here you can see that the breadth is for this rectangular path is D throughout. But what would be the length of this rectangular path? It will be equal to length, means L, because this length is running parallel to the length of the garden. So we will take the length as L, and the breadth is always D here, so length into breadth. So I hope the length, the area for first part and second part is clear to you. So you would say, sir, area of the total part, area of the crossroad will be the addition of these two. Area of crossroad, because I have to find out the area of both the roads. So what I will do, I will write B into D plus L into D. So it seems that this is the answer, but you have to see it very carefully that we are taking one portion, the area of one portion, two times. Here you can see that if I take this vertical vertical road here, I'll take this area also, this middle portion. If I take this horizontal road, again I'll take this middle portion. So this area I'm taking two times. So what I will be doing, I'll be subtracting the area of this middle portion from the sum of these two road areas. Okay. Because I am taking this area two times, so I will subtract once from the sum. So for finding out the area of this middle portion, you can see that the width of this horizontal path is d. Here also the width is d. So you can see that both the sides are same. So the middle portion will be a square shape. So therefore, area of this middle portion is d into d, side into side. Okay. So now this d into d should be subtracted from the total area, because when we are finding out total area, we were taking this middle portion two times. So we need to remove it once. Okay. I hope it is clear. So that's why we are going to subtract it once. So here the formula that you are going to get is b into d, area of the crossroad is b into d plus l into d minus t square. I hope it is clear. So in this way we got this area. Now we will take some simple values and we will try to find out. Let's say L is 10, breadth is 5 and d is, let's say, 2. Put the values here. Breadth is how much? 5. 5 into d. 5 into 2, that will be 10. These are in meter. Okay. And L into d, L is 10. D is how much? 2. 20. Minus d. D is what? 2. 2. 2 into 2, 4. Now since it is area, so the unit will be in meter square, because the lengths are in meter. So area will be in meter square. 10 plus 20, 30, 30 minus 4, that will be 26 meter square. I hope it is clear how we have found out the area of crossroad. This topic was left, so that's why I have covered this topic in this video. Any other query if you have, you can ask me. Alright. But before winding up this video, I'll be covering one more area. That will be the area of the circle. Area of the circle as well as area of the parallelogram. So let's cover the area of the parallelogram. Alright. Okay. So area of parallelogram is very easy to understand. It is nothing, it is just the formula that you need to focus upon. But how it has come, you need to really know it. Okay. Because many of the students get confused how to define what is the base and what is the height. For example, area of parallelogram, the formula is base into height. This is the formula. Now here, see, the formula is very easy to remember, but for understanding purpose, you should know what is the criteria to see what is base and what is height. Okay. So I'll draw a parallelogram for you here. Everybody knows that this is parallelogram. Okay. The name of this parallelogram, I'll call it as ABCD. Fine. Now please, whenever you name the polygon, please name it in either clockwise or in anti-clockwise. Because some of the students, what they do, they write A, B and here write C and D. So what they have done, first they were moving in clockwise direction, then they jumped and then they started moving in anti-clockwise direction. So that should not be the case. Either you go in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So this could have been given as a name as A, B, C, D, like this also. So it depends on you. Fine. Let us discuss what is base and height, because here you will get confused if I change the orientation of this parallelogram. So base is the side of that parallelogram. Please take this as base is the side of parallelogram. It can be any side. Among these four sides, the base can be anything. Okay. It is not necessary that base is the line which is at the bottommost. No. Now here we have some relation between base and height. Always remember, base will be perpendicular to height all the time. All the time. This symbol is for perpendicular, means the angle should be 90 degrees. If I draw one line, this AB, and second line as CD. So you will see the angle between them. Okay, here this is the angle. Okay, this one, let's say 2, second angle. This is third angle, and this is fourth angle. So if I write an angle, let's say 70 degrees. Okay, so these two lines are not perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular means they are at 90 degree. Okay, perpendicular means 90 degree. The angle should be between those two lines should be 90 degree. But it's not here right now. So, I hope that you should know and you should always keep in mind the relationship between base and height when we are finding out the area of parallelogram. So now see, if I take this CD as base, because you can take any side as base for a parallelogram. Okay, any side of a parallelogram is a base. So for this, if I take this side as a base, so here we are going to get height from the vertex which is on the opposite side. So to this CD, what is the opposite side? AB. And try to see that that height when you are going to draw it, that should lie within the polygon. Okay, you try it out. Probably you should get all the time the height within the polygon, but there are times when you get the height outside the polygon. So we'll discuss that part afterwards. But here we are going to take the height which is inside the polygon. Polygon means any quadrilateral, or you can say a rhombus, square, whatever are there. So from here, if I draw a line from B vertex, so it will be outside this polygon. So I'll try to draw a line from A. Now this line, let's say it's meeting at DCS at E. So you will see that this line AE is at 90 degree with DC. So now this AE will be called as height of the parallelogram, and the DC will be called as base of the parallelogram. Okay, fine. So now the area, if both the values are given to you, DC is also given. Let's say DC is 10. AE is equals to 5 meter. So area of parallelogram will be what? DC means base into height. So DC is 10 meter, base is 5 meter, 50 meters square. Okay, so this is the thing that we need to know. Now if I say that I don't want to take this as a height, sorry, this DC as a base, I can take DC also as a base. So let us try to draw height for DC, taking DC as a base. If I take this BC as a base, so I should know the height. Now see, please don't consider the height as only vertical line. It can be horizontal also. It should be perpendicular to base. That is the main criteria. So if I take BC as a base, so what will be height? Let's say, let's take this as a height. Now here this will be acting as a height now. Okay. So now area of the parallelogram will be what? Parallelogram is written like this. You draw two vertical line and write GM. That's it. Base will be VC. Height is AE. Okay, let's say BC is 10, AE is 5. Okay. The values can be different. Okay. Don't be confused. Let's take BC as 12. I get away. And the AE as, let's say, 4. 12, 4. Okay. 48 meters square. Now see, I have taken any random value. But whenever you are going to do this type of variations, then the area should come same. Okay. The earlier was how much? 50. So now it should also be 50. So it depends on the values here. Okay. BC can be 5, or you can say BC can be 25 and height can be 2. So 25 into 2, that will be 50. Because since parallelogram is same only, so area should also come same. Base and height, their values may differ, but the area should always come same, because we are talking about the same parallelogram. Okay. Now let's do area of circle also very quickly. सर्कल में क्या होता है? एरिया ऑफ सर्कल बहुत इजी है. एक सर्कल बना लिया, एक सेंटर होगा उसका, ये रेडियस होगा. रेडियस जो होता है सेंटर से कोई भी पॉइंट उस बाउंड्री पे, ओके, वही रेडियस होगा. तो इससे इनफाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ रेडियस आपको मिल जाएंगे. एरिया ऑफ सर्कल होता है आपका पाई इंटू आर स्क्वायर. ये मैंने पहले बना दिया है. मैंने पहले वाली वीडियोस में मैंने डिस्कस किया है एरिया ऑफ सर्कल क्या होता है. मैं यहाँ पे डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ एरिया ऑफ क्वाड्रेंट. क्वाड्रेंट एक्चुअली होता क्या है? 1/4 पार्ट ऑफ अ सर्कल. फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट, सेकंड क्वाड्रेंट, थर्ड क्वाड्रेंट, फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट. नाउ एरिया ऑफ अ सर्कल इज पाई आर स्क्वायर. सो एरिया ऑफ क्वाड्रेंट क्या होगा? हाफ उसका 1/4 कर दो, क्योंकि चारों इक्वल पार्ट्स हैं. That's it.
Time up.
Okay. Thank you. Time up is there. I got the bell rung. Thank you so much, and we'll be meeting in the next video. All right. And please don't forget to subscribe it. All right. And please, it's my humble request. घंटा प्लीज जरूर दबा दें. Thank you. नमस्कार.